Hello everyone, it's Fel here. Today we are going to be dreaming of the beautiful island Honeycomb by Kate. So go ahead and get cozy and let's take a walk. Welcome to Honeycomb. Look at this beautiful entrance. The green grass is so refreshing and I am absolutely loving it so far. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Kate herself. She also goes by honeycomb__crossing on Instagram. Please make sure to go check out her account. She is such a talented creator and she also has some beautiful custom designs that she's made. But let me tell you a little bit about Honeycomb. Kate has based this island off of the works of Beatrix Potter. She is an author who wrote some children's tales, and she said that she incorporated places from Potter's real life, such as her farm and the publishing house, but most of her island is a love letter to the series of children's tales that Potter had written. And I absolutely love this idea. It is such a unique idea and it is already so beautiful. I asked Kate a little bit about island planning and she knew that she wanted to split her island up into 3 distinct areas. She wanted a little town center, a woodland with a lake, and then a farmland. And she also knew what villager houses that she would have in each area, so she said that really helped her with her planning. She also mentioned that she created a mood board on Pinterest before starting, which was a huge help. Like she mentioned, she did plan out all her villagers, which I would love to list them all. I'll list them all down below to tell you a bit more about them, but she chose them based off of each of the characters in the books, and she has specific villagers for specific characters, which I thought was so sweet. I asked her if her island turned out differently than she expected, and she said this was one of the rare times where almost everything came out exactly the way she had envisioned it, which makes me so happy. I'm so glad that you got to have that experience, Kate. But as we continue on, I had to ask her what she does when she lacks inspiration. She said that she has a little bit of an existential crisis, but she said she was kidding, but honestly, I relate so much. That's how I feel every time I struggle. But she did spend time rereading Potter's books when she was lacking inspo, and then she also looked at lots of photos of the Lake District and both of the ballet and animated series based on Potter's works, which I think is a wonderful thing to do, and it can be very helpful to have islands based on things that you can actually visualize like that and get ideas from. She said her main source of inspiration was the children's books. She read them avidly as a child and recently started reading them to her own children, which is so sweet. Oh my goodness. She spent many childhood summers visiting the Lake District where Potter drew inspiration from her stories and where she lived later in life. She said it's a stunningly beautiful part of the UK, and much of the land makes up the Lake District National Park was actually bought and preserved by Beatrix Potter, which I love that detail, and thank you for sharing that. Oh my goodness, that is absolutely wonderful. She did mention that her favorite areas on the island were Jeremy Fisher's house, aka Henry, or the farmer's market. And some things she learned when creating this island was just how magical Potter stories still are over 100 years later. She mentioned that some of her favorite items to decorate with were the wheat field, the wood partition, stack bags, crops, storefront, garden wagon, and the milk can, which are all such wonderful items. And she said some tips for creating an island would have to be the Pinterest board that she mentioned earlier. She said that it was such a huge help. It was great to look over and pick things out here and there to inspire her with the process. So I think that's something I definitely want to look into. I've always heard it helps, but hopefully that's something that you can look into if you're struggling a bit with designing your island. And lastly, Kate had to say that this was probably the most fun she's ever had decorating an island, and it was such a lovely, nostalgic, creative process, which makes me so happy to hear. I'm so glad that you enjoyed this island so much. It was so beautiful, and I absolutely loved my time running around. Oh my goodness. Kate, thank you so much for letting me tour your island, and thank you to everyone who watched. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.